I have a question here for the audience. They're asking which roles or profile you need for your startup for starting. Can you tell us about maybe your founding team and when did you hire your first employee?
Yeah. So the founding team is actually very important. And so we had three co-founders, and it actually worked out perfectly. We had one guy who was focused on doing the hardware. I was focused on doing the software, and then we had a third guy who was a former investment banker from Morgan Stanley. He was focused on doing the marketing and sales and business development. So it worked out great. And then we started hiring our next employee when we needed someone to write a web application. And so I could do it, but I ran out of bandwidth because I was helping to write all the Android code that interface with the hardware. And so we hired this guy to do the web development. And then we also hired the next guy immediately afterwards to help my other co-founders to do the hardware development. So I think like when we got acquired by Byte, we had I think around 20 to 22 people.
Well, and Byte Foods bought that 100% of the company, and you continue working on that, or some of the founders or the team continue working, or how does that?
That's a great question. Yes, and so yes, they completely acquired the company, and so most of our team transitioned to Byte. Myself as well, but I only stayed on for a couple of months. I helped with the transition, and then I moved on to join McKinsey. However, I'm still work very closely with Byte. I am officially their advisor, and I talk to them all the time. So it was a personal decision to get a different full-time job. But I mean, yeah.
Did you keep some of the equity, or you sold the whole company?
Yes, and so I became an equity holder of Byte.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we are the last question. We have only 30 minutes for this show. Tony has another meeting right now. And to close the program, what recommendations can you give us for like Latin American startups?
Yeah, sure. So I had a good friend of mine. He started a company in Chile. So I talked to him and just tried to get the landscape of things. And so from what I was told, and correct me if I'm wrong, Lennon, it seems like funding beyond the seed funding could be a problem in Latin America. Mm-hmm. So I think one problem to solve that is to, if you are a B2B company, right? If you're a business to consumer company, then try to get traction as early as possible, right? And so this way you can show promise, and that could help you get funding, right? And then another way to do it is try to see if you can break even, right? With just a seed funding, and so this way you can stand on your own feet, right? Mm-hmm. So another way to do it is to try to structure your company as a B2B company, and so like for example, I don't know, just like for example, McKinsey could be a customer, right? And so like in this way, then potentially you could get some funding from McKinsey, like from your client or from from some bigger institution, right? Like for example, I don't know, from some big corporation, and so this way you can, that's also one way you can get funding. Also, one thing to point out is that don't forget there are a lot of angel investors, and so I didn't know this before, but I came to know that there are actually a lot of weird rich people out there, and so those are rich people that have ideas and they have like money to invest, and like oftentimes you may not be able to convince a VC to invest in your company, but you can talk to like some rich guy, and he could be like, oh my god, like you are working on something that I have always wanted to do it myself for the last 10 years, and finally thank you for finally like doing this, like turning my dream into a reality, right? And so if you can find this person, get him or her very, very excited, right? He or she could become your investor, right? So that's three ways I think how you can do it.
Well, we are closing the program right now. Any final thoughts or final comments to say goodbye?
Well, I mean, so I think Lennon would post the links to my company, and so feel free to take a look, and then you can see what we do, and then I guess like if you have follow-up questions, you can channel them to Lennon, and then happy to help in whatever shape or form I can.
Sure. So you can go to pantryretail.com to take a look to Tony's company. And goodbye. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Awesome. Bye.